Well, it's really great to be here, and I really loved, Beth, I can't find you, but your talk was fantastic. It was really great, and it was pretty much everything that the Church of England Youth Council stands for. The Church of England Youth Council is sometimes called the Church of England's best kept secret, and not many people know about it. Times are changing, and we're trying to get ourselves out there as much as possible. But it is a council that is led by young people for young people. So the chair, the treasurer, the secretary, and everybody underneath are all 16 to 25. We run ourselves, we plan our own meetings. We had an event last year for 300 young people looking at being inspired and getting involved, and what we can do in that way. And so we're all about listening to young people, and it's amazing how many people we get to our events that just don't feel heard. But before I get started on that, under some of your seats, normally on the ends of aisles, there's 8 envelopes, because we're going to play a game. Woo! It is you. It is, Dave. Basically, the envelope is for the eyes of the envelope holder only, because we're going to play a game of Chinese whispers. So, just like youth work, this might get a bit messy, because you're not in set lines, you're all over the place, which is fine. But if the person holding the card would like to read their message and then find some people to whisper to, and we'll see how far and how accurately the message can get in 30 seconds. Are we ready for this challenge? Oh, there's not a lot of... Are we ready? Good. Right. Ready, steady, go. Fantastic, our 30 seconds are up. So, can you please put your hand up if you ended up with it and didn't pass it on? If you didn't pass it on. So, what did you get?
We need to create a separate space for young people.
Oh, very accurately passed on, I like it. That was in fact one. Hands up if you ended up with one, yeah?
2 places if young people don't know what's on offer.
Oh, exciting. Was that what was read out by the first card holder? I think it was. Yeah, fantastic. You're really good at passing messages on. Anybody else? Yeah. Oh, okay, good. Not sure, but yeah, you were right. Yeah.
You want to be treated like adults, but you're treated like children.
Fantastic. And is there one more? Yeah. Yeah.
Traditional words confuse young people to make it simple.
You are all very good at passing messages on. I like it. Oh, one more. Yes.
Young people don't want to be part of a church at all age.
Oh, exciting. So, yeah, they are all accurate. So, you're very good at passing messages on. Well done. But that has a point, because Chinese whispers can sometimes feel a bit like youth work to young people. Because messages get passed on. You have all got great youth work going somewhere on in Guildford Diocese. You all have parts that you're doing really, really fantastically, and you want to celebrate those parts, which is brilliant. And passing on wisdom and sharing notes is fantastic. But the more it gets passed on, and the longer it takes, or the quieter you are, or whatever it is, those messages get muddled, they get confused, and they morph. And the thing about youth work is, for young people, we are all different. So for the Church of England Youth Council, we have a massive scope of young people, and they vary so much that what might really, really work in your part of your benefice or your church probably won't work if you pick that up and transplant it somewhere else. It just won't work. Context is so important. And listening to your young people, listening to what they want is so important, because no areas are the same and no young people are the same. And it can feel like a game of Chinese whispers, because it just morphs and gets out of control. So that's kind of what the Church of England Youth Council feel. In November we had our meeting, and we talked a lot about youth work and what it is that they want, or what they hear, or what they want to say. And It's not all the same. So every single message that you had there, that you passed on, has been said to me at some point, either as a youth worker back in the Diocese of Norwich, boo, and back in and in CYC, that everything there is true. And I know people who, for example, really hate guitars and live worship. They want organ music, and they want tradition, and they want incense, and they want all of the liturgy. And I know young people that really wouldn't touch that with a barge pole. Okay? And so it's all about listening to your young people, listening to what they want, talking to them, hearing them. On that note, the best way to do that I have found, and that young people are telling me, is to build relationships. It's no longer all about having fantastic technology or having fantastic games or doing bowling or cinemas or whatever it is. It's about relationships. They want to know you. It's a two-way relationship. It's give and take. And that way they build trust. And once with trust, and I'm sorry guys, once you've got trust, you're going to be having conversations at 2 o'clock in the morning if you're on a weekend away. You're going to be having those conversations as you're trying to dash out of church because you've got somewhere really important to be. Because they are the moments that young people pick. Again, sorry guys, to talk to you and to trust you, because it's all about relationship building. So once they know that they can trust you, they will blur on you, okay? Because that is what they need. It's that confidence, it's that security in knowing you as a person, not as this scary youth worker figure, oh, he just does games with me, or he just takes me bowling. At the moment, it's about relationship, and that's everything I'm hearing constantly. Church of England Youth Council does weekends away, and it does a big meeting, and the one thing we're constantly praised for is that we're a community. Now, we're only a community that meets twice a year. We have an online community, and we have emails and that kind of thing, but we physically only meet twice a year. But we are praised for that community. We are praised for being with each other and journeying with each other. It's no longer about answers. It's about journeying. It's about the conversations you are having. So once you've built that relationship, you've got that trust, you're having these questions. If you're asking questions, please ask questions with a purpose. Tokenism is such a big turn-off for young people at the moment. Every single person, absolutely every single person in November at our meeting was scared that their thoughts and their opinions just weren't going anywhere. They were being asked for their thoughts, they were being asked to contribute, but they don't go anywhere. It's just tokenism. The church is just pretending to listen to young people. The church is just doing it in a formation, in a template. They don't really want to hear what we have to say. They don't really want to know us. They don't really want to get our opinion. And that is the worst thing. It will do more harm than good if you listen without a purpose. If you listen, if you ask questions without a drive or without an action that's going to come of it, even if that action is more talking, if there's no action, you will turn off young people. They will go away and find somewhere else. And that is every single one. Because the big thing about Church of England Youth Council that young people love is that we have 3 members who take the views to Synod. They go and sit on Synod and they tell Synod exactly what they think. Regardless of whether it's positive or negative, they tell them exactly what they think. We take opinions further. And that is exactly what young people want to know. They want to know that their thoughts and their actions and everything they're doing is being taken to wider spheres. It's doing something. It's changing things. So honesty is so important. Listening with a purpose. Why do you want to know? What is it you want to do with that information? And really try and stay away from tokenism because it's so damaging to those relationships. So on that note, just final little thing is that big questions work. At the moment in this society, there are some really tough issues. There are some big stuff that we, as youth workers, are a bit scared to confront, and therefore we don't actually want to open that can of worms. What happens if they all start disagreeing and arguing and those big questions? Well, let grace take over. We, as a Church of England Youth Council, had a massive debate on marriage, and we had every theological spectrum from everything and some. But grace took over. We left that weekend lighter, having shared our thoughts and our opinions, because we knew they were going somewhere. We knew they were going to synod. And more friendly. We were a community because we'd been honest with each other. We'd taken that further. So, just leaving you one message from a Church of England Youth Council member is that we are treated like children and expected to behave like adults. Treat us like the young adults that we are. Listen to us, hear what we have to say, take it further, act on it, even if it's just more talking. Because in this society, we are treated like young adults everywhere else. Why not the church? So talk to us about the big stuff and build relationships with us. Thank you very much for listening.